Hello, my name is Lewis and welcome to Gathering the Magic. With Time Spiral Remastered right around the corner, we're looking at the top 10 most valuable cards from Time Spiral Remastered. For the 10th most expensive card, we have Magus of the Moon. The only mono red card on this list is a 2/2 human wizard who has non-basic lands are mountains. First printed in Future Sight, this card is a nightmare for your opponents to see as this creature turns all non-basic lands into mountains. So if your opponent is running any of those non-basic lands, then they're all getting turned into mountains. They probably won't be able to use that mana and they'll end up hating you forever. A brilliant card that's sure to get more play now that it's finally getting that reprint. I'm sure we'll see you on the next Game Nights episode. And a quick reminder, as always, this list is to give you a guide of what to look out for. Expect some of these prices to drop and tumble upon release. Before we get on to number 9, please make sure to like this video and subscribe for all of our MTG goodness. It's absolutely free, it helps the channel, and you can always unsubscribe later. Next up on the list we have Gauntlet of Power. This artifact from the OG Time Spiral set loves boosting those creatures. When it ETBs, you choose a colour and creatures of that chosen colour get +1/+1. And when a basic land is tapped for mana, you get to add an additional mana of that colour. So if I whack this in my upcoming Ayara First of Locthwain deck, then every time I'm tapping one of those swamps for mana, I'm getting another one. This card may be a 5-drop, but it's worth every single mana. This is a quality card, and one that if you're running any monocolour commander, you know that if you pack this, it's going straight in that deck of yours. Next up on the list at the $24 mark, we have a Chromas Memorial. Another card originally from Future Sight, and one that I was desperate to pull from the list back in the Zendikar Rising set booster boxes. This artifact has everything. Whilst it does have the con of being a big CMC, it does also have the huge pro of giving all of your creatures flying, first strike, vigilance, trample, haste and protection from black and red. If you've got cards like Copper Gnomes or Master Transmuter in your decks, then guess what? You're whacking this on the battlefield for even cheaper. Will this card get cheaper in price after release? I expect not, as when it was released as part of the list, it actually went up in price. So maybe this is why Wizards is releasing it again so soon after the list. Please, 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 Meme Master Steve, give me your pack luck, because if I don't get this in my Time Spiral Remastered box, I will cry.
Sorry, can't do this.
Next up on the list we have Pact of Negation. Yet another card first seen in Future Sight. You may say, why is this a $25 card? Because it's a free counter spell, of course. Pay 0 to counter target spell, not just creature spell or non-creature spell, any spell, which is huge. On your next upkeep, you do have to pay 3 generic and 2 blue mana or you lose the game. This is such a great surprise card to catch your opponents off guard and dig you out of a hole. Having been reprinted in a few Masters sets over the years and more recently in the list, hopefully another reprint of this card in Time Spiral Remastered will bring that card value down a little bit more, because I'm greedy and I want all of the counter spells.
Get in my belly!
Moving on to land now, and still in the $25 range, we have Urborg, Tomb of Yorgmoth. First printed in Planar Chaos, Tomb of Yorgmoth is a legendary land that makes all other lands swamps in addition to their other types. One half of the legendary tag team with Cabal Coffers, this is another card that has been reprinted a bunch of times over the last few years, so hopefully expect this to be another card that's going to get a nice little price drop as this set is released. Also, for some reason whenever I think of this card, it makes me think of wanting to combo it off with Chromas Bell, have a million little attackers with all that mana you've got going on. And of course, throw in an Elish Norn if you're feeling extra spicy. A great card and one I'm looking forward to packing come release day. Next on the value list, it's another land, and this time it's Vesuvia. First printed in the OG Time Spiral set, Vesuvia is a land that enters the battlefield tapped as a copy of any other land on the battlefield. This card is the rich man's Thespian stage. Has your opponent got that dreaded Cabal Coffers? Well, guess what? Now Vesuvia can come in as a copy of that card. Or maybe your opponents have got some of them nice original dual lands. Well, guess what? Vesuvia gets to come in as a copy of that too. Still a pricey card, with this only being its second ever reprint after, you guessed it, a reprint in the list. So prices of this are still estimated to stay quite high. And with copy commanders like Orvar getting more and more popular, I expect that this is a card that won't be seeing a dip in price anytime soon, and you can quote me on that. Unless I'm wrong, then don't quote me. I didn't say anything, I don't know what you're talking about. Next up on the list, it's the big bad Tarmagoif. Originally printed in Future Sight, this is a bit of a Marmite card in the Commander community currently, as half of the fans are happy to see this reprinted, so it becomes more affordable, and the collectors are currently appalled because again another reprint of this card sees its price drop and drop. Tarmagoif is such a great card, cheap to play out and sure soon enough to be a big, strong beastie boy thanks to its ability. It's not even a legendary creature too, so those copy loving boys I've already mentioned can go copy galore on Tarmy. But if you've got yourself a Tarmagoif, you obviously want a commander that loves to go to Mill City. Whether it's putting cards in your or your opponent's graveyards, get them all in there, beef up Tarmy, maybe give him Death Touch and protect his butt and eliminate your opponents in no time. For the third most expensive Time Spiral Remastered card, we have Damnation. First printed in Planar Chaos, Damnation is a black sorcery that destroys all creatures. Yep, it's a 4 CMC board wipe that costs $36, which when you see the cheaper and similar alternatives, you've got to wonder why this card still holds so much value, which again is probably due to the minimal amount of reprints it's had over the years. For some reason, Wizards have decided to shift this up from a rare card to a mythic rare, which I'm not really sure of the logic there, so if someone could kindly let me know in the comments below, I'd love to hear it. A good card, although it sounds like I've kind of been moaning about it for the last 30 seconds, this is a card I'm glad to see back again, another one that I can't wait to crack from those packs on release day. Runner up and the second most valuable card is Gemstone Caverns. Originally and only reprinted in the original Time Spiral set, Gemstone Caverns is only making its second ever appearance in card form, so already I can understand the high price estimate for this card. If you have this in your opening hand and you're not the starting player, this card goes straight onto the battlefield with a look counter. And if you have that look counter, you can add 1 mana of any colour among creatures you control, which in a game of Commander is huge. It's essentially a 1-turn command tower. It's even a turn 1 cheaper to play Arcane Signet. It's just such a good utility land that if you pull this from a pack, you've got the big question, do I sell it or do I slip it into every single deck I own? I know I'm already having that internal struggle. A great card and one I'm happy to see finally get the reprint it deserves. And for the most expensive card from Time Spiral Remastered, we have Sliver Legion. Yes, at the nearly $60 mark, we have the big Sliver boy originally and so far only printed in Future Sight, which again is probably why this card is so expensive. Well, that and this card is just a Sliver's dream. Slivers are probably the most synchronised tribe within all of MTG, with all Slivers basically having each other's backs and boosting each other, giving each other their abilities and so much more. And Sliver Legion is the big bad of the bunch, giving each other Sliver +1/+1 for each Sliver on the battlefield. If you've got 10 Slivers on the battlefield and each Sliver is getting +1/+1 for each other Sliver on the battlefield, when you're going to have an army of 500 Slivers. Don't come at me, numbers are hard. With the OG Sliver Legion worth about $100, it's crazy to think it's not even the most valuable Sliver out there. We're looking at you, Slither Queen. Now, pack gods, please strike down your luck on me and let me pack this when my box arrives. There we have it, that is the list. Thank you for watching and please don't forget to like this video and of course subscribe for all things MTG. Check out our link tree in the description below for all our social media and affiliate links. For now though, I'm all tapped out, so I'll see you in the next video.